All right. Peace. ATM Hotep. Hopefully, I could be heard. It's your brother Wujao, and you're tuned into the Sesh channel. First, let me start by saying, hopefully, you all are having a wonderful, and will continue to have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Where I am here in Georgia, it's nice and sunny and everything, and so I wanted to go live real quick before everyone has a chance to break out and get into what you're going to get into, including myself. Got to enjoy the weather and everything. So just wanted to go live real quick as a reminder of our upcoming book reading. And so I've forgot to advertise this or make mention of this in our last live stream. And so I just wanted to do a quick live to remind everyone of our book club. So as you can see on the screen, actually, let me enlarge this here. So this is a reminder. So Saber University is hosting, SaberUniversity.com is hosting a book club. It's called Saber University Book Club. And the first book that we're going to walk through from cover to cover is the book that you see on the screen. It is one book out of a series of books called Cambridge Elements, Ancient Egypt in Context. And so there's a series of books, and this particular one is called Ethnic Identities in the Land of the Pharaohs by Yerosh Matic. All right, this is a very good book that I recommended a while back. I suggest that people who are interested, especially in the latest topics that's been kind of ongoing on the blackness of the ancient Egyptians. You know, a lot of the different conversations on multiple different platforms people have been having, a variety of conversations, arguments, discussions, debates, or what have you, on the topic of whether Egyptians are black or not and things like that. So this book is something that I recommended when it first came out. And so instead of just keep recommending and suggesting it, I'm just going to do one better. And this will be the first book of our book club, book reading. All right. And so what I'm trying to do is to schedule 1 hour online meetings so we can go through and have, we could read and discuss the book as we go through the book cover to cover. So what I need is anyone who's interested in our book club, and we're going to read many books. This is our first one. But whoever's interested, please go on over to SaberUniversity.com and sign up. It's free. And actually, let me share my screen to show you over here. So this is the website, SaberUniversity.com. All right. And when you go to the website, if you click on, you can actually scroll down on the home page. And the very first course is listed as a course, but obviously this is a book club, so it's not exactly a course, but it's listed as a course. You'll see this the first course here, Saber University Book Club. And all you have to do is click enroll in the course. And it's free. And so what it'll do, you just have to provide your a username and email, and that's pretty much it. And once you do that, you will then become a member of a group. Now, Saber University has similar functionality to Facebook, where how Facebook has Facebook groups. Well, this website has groups, and so far there's only 2. But the book club also has a group, and so when you register or enroll in the book club, you'll be also invited to join the group. And in the group, you can see I had posted the first book, the picture of the book, and then under it, I asked everyone who will be joining the group, the book club, to leave a comment letting me know your recommended or suggested day and time that we meet online. So I need to fill that out, and I need to fill it out rather quickly because I want to get started. So we're coming to the end of May. everyone is enjoying their Memorial Day weekend with family, friends, and hopefully people getting some nice sun, vitamin D, D3, et cetera. Because gotta stay healthy, get some fresh air, get that sunlight, get that UV, and that D3, because that we are still dealing with COVID infections, and now in the news they're talking about monkeypox and things like that. So definitely keep your eyes on that, and don't mind the conspiracy theorists. Definitely, you are your own guardian, so to guard your health, do what you have to do, become abreast on that. But anyway, so hope everybody enjoy their weekend. But I do need some input. All right. I would like to, get a feel of the day and times that people will say. And so go over there and join. All right. Just wanted to do that quick reminder of that. And let me see who is in the chat now. So shout out to everyone who's in the chat already. And I know you all could be out and about, and you probably, getting ready to do that. People cooking out and doing things all weekend, really. So appreciate anybody who's tuned in. But again, the purpose of me going live is just as an announcement and a quick reminder. Those who have heard me announce it before, I want to remind everyone to go onto saberuniversity.com and sign up, register. All right. And actually, we have Brother Jehudi Ma'at and Brother June is on the panel with me, just arriving. So as far as the chat, for those who are watching, how many of you have signed up? And it only takes less than a minute to sign up. So you all can be signing up while I'm speaking, actually. So if you haven't signed up and you're in the chat, shame on you. But if you already signed up, then go on it over into the group that you see on the screen here and leave a comment. Now, if you sign up, I have to make sure that you're in the group. Okay, so if you're not in the group, or you can leave a comment in the chat right now. I just need to get a feel of the day and time to schedule these gatherings, these online meetings. Only want to spend an hour. Okay, so we're going to gradually walk through the book and spend an hour. We're going to read ahead of time. Then when we come together, we may have to go over something and have a discussion. All right, so, and this is a good book to start off with. Again, now I've read the book. It is really, really on time. And once we all go through it together, I don't think anyone who's arguing these arguments that you've seen over the past few months about whether Egyptians are black or white, whether they're Mediterranean or sub-Saharan African, North African, and all the other things, you would be able to filter out the noise. It's amazing what reading will do, how much reading can help the situation. And for the life of me, I do not understand why reading seems to be a difficult thing. Not the reading itself, but the what do you call it? The desire to read is definitely at a low. You have people who are who say that they advocate scientific literacy, scholarship, and things like that. But on the other hand, or at the same time, a lot of those same people don't read, and I can't figure that out. And everybody has their ways of doing things. So we kind of have a lot of leeway with how people want to do things. But what's interesting and what I can't figure out is that people who don't read will spend a lot of time arguing. And that just doesn't match to me. All right. So anyway, want you all to go over there and sign up. Jehudi and June, first of all, welcome to the panel, ETM Hotel. You know, we're live. We're live on Facebook and we're live on YouTube. So you all have any comments about the book club?
No,
Or if you're
Hotep.
there, I'm not sure. Hotep.
Yeah, yeah,
Hotep.
I'm here. Hotep. No, I'll just
Yes, yes.
no, I'm just tuning in. I missed the beginning. I really don't even know what the topic is, but as far as the book club, that sounds good. Um, hope we get some people interested and willing to participate.
Okay. Well, so far, let me see. So far, let me check out the people that. Okay, so far we have 15 people. All right, we have 15 people that have showed interest. 15 people have signed up fairly recently. Okay, because I made the announcement not in our last live stream, and maybe not even the one before that, but a few live streams ago I had made the announcement, and so you know, now if you're not interested, there's no love lost. There's no you're not there's no judgment. There's no judgment. You know, if you're not interested um, in being part of a book club and everything like that, that's fine. And I say that because I don't want people to register or enroll, but then don't participate. You know, I rather you really want to participate, and we're going to be going through some very good books. And like I said, the first book. Let me get this back on the screen. The first book is going to be this one here: Ethnic Identities in the Land of the Pharaohs. All right, and it's really really on time. I think Brother Sadiq has already read it as well. He said it's a good book. It's definitely a good read, and it is. And the book is not very long. I believe it is 110 pages, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to get through it rather quickly. All right. Now, if you are interested in this book and you want to get the book is available on Amazon. Just type in the title, and you'll be able to see it on Amazon. And it is less than $20. All right, on Amazon. All right, I'm not affiliated with the author or anything like that, so you know I'm not. Um, I don't have a any business interest in advertising the book or anything like that. It's just a good book, and we're going to read it. And in order for us to go through it, you're going to need it. So make sure you go over to Amazon and pick it up. Now, when we meet, we're going to be going through it. So if for whatever reason you're not able to get the book, you'll still be all right. We're going to make sure we got your back. All right. So I want to see everyone sign up. Okay. So again, I'm not going to be too long. I just wanted to make that announcement and make that reminder. Oh, go ahead, June.
Let me add something before we change off the book. Um, I just want to reiterate a mantra that's often said by our elder brothers at the University of Kemet Press. And what they always say is teams win. So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of we got two things we could take out of doing this book club, coming together as a team to read this book, because of course we could all do it individually, but also what comes along with reading book is comprehension, and I seen that's lacking a little bit by a few people in the community. Just reading the book is one thing, but to comprehend what's going on in the book is another thing, and that's definitely going to help working together as a team. So I just wanted to throw that in before we switch off the book.
No, that's good. I'm glad you even said that because that is see people. this is the best way to deal with reading. When you think of reading, just automatically also think of comprehension, because or think of it this way: think of reading as a short form of reading comprehension, because what's implied in reading is comprehending. And so when we say we're going to read something, or you say, hey, I've read it, or whatever, or I'm going to read something, etc., you're also saying at the same time that I'm going to comprehend. And I think that gets a little mixed up, because people will claim to read something but really don't comprehend what they've read. And so we separated reading and then comprehending. But reading inherent with that, and I actually put a post up on Facebook recently, not too long ago, before I went live, that comprehension is inherent in reading. It's really reading comprehension. And so, like you said, though, I'm glad you brought that up. Teams win. So coming together to read together, it helps the comprehension, because now we can kind of build off of each other's views on what was read. So that's very good, and that's the benefit. That's one of the main benefits of being in the book club or reading among other people. So yeah, that's it. And I see Philitis in the chat. I definitely know he's cracking a joke. He says I'm interested, but only when it gets to the spooky pseudo stuff. Let me know when you all start reading a book that says specifically how to contact and commune with Heru himself. Now he might be serious, so let me not laugh. He might be serious. But Philitis, enroll anyway. Even if this particular book may not pique your interest, enroll. And what I said earlier is that I want people to join the book club because they're interested in reading, and even if they're not, they might not be as interested in this particular title. But this is a good book. Now, don't cut yourself short. This is a good book. And all the books we're going to go through are going to be good books. They're going to be, and I do take recommendations, suggestions and recommendations. I have a list of books that I want to roll out with. This is the first one, but I'm definitely taking recommendations. All right. I have a lot of books. I have a whole lot of books dealing with ancient Egypt, all aspects, culture, language, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to get through them. All right. So what? Anything else on you all's mind while we're here? What's the weather like where everybody is? I know Jehudi, you
No,
in Florida, so it's always, if it's not raining, it's
Yeah, the sun
it's
just came
always
back
good.
out. Yeah, it was
Okay.
cloudy for a minute.
Yes. Yes. How about out there in Washington, June?
it's like sprinkling right now, but it's been cloudy off and on. Yeah, it's a strange. This is like the longest winter. It's
Mm.
it's been crazy. Yeah, it's like hitting spring. Usually we get our seasons a little bit late, but this is it's really bad. Yeah, it's been a lot of rain. It's crazy though because everyone that I talked to down in Cali is talking about the drought. And I think that's a
Mm.
serious situation going on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of frequent in the news. You always hear California either fires or drought. So it's not looking good. Maybe Jehudi can throw you some sunshine over there on the west coast from Florida, or even here where I'm at. It's really really nice. So I'm gonna be out in the sun in a few. So MF, so if anybody in the chat, if you all are there, first of all, appreciate you all tuning in, because I know it's a holiday weekend and everything. That's why I wanted to go live now and not be too long to make these announcements and reminders. But if you have a question in the chat, feel free to ask. Feel free to ask. Just open it up for a few minutes. I'm on the Eastern Standard Time. I'm on the East Coast, and it's 1:41. At the most, I'll go till 2 o'clock. So if anybody has any questions in the chat about the book club that I announced or anything else, we can just chit chat a bit. But I see MF Dreadson. He said, "What's the mission? What's the point?" If you're asking about the book club, then I mean it should be kind of self-evident. The point of a book club is to gather like minds and read and discuss a book or books, plural. So I mean, that's the point of book clubs. The mission and point pretty much overlap. The mission is to one, advocate and encourage reading. You know, my observation of the social community is that reading is at a low, and inherent in that is comprehension. Reading and reading comprehension is low. That's what I see. And so instead of me just giving my view, I'm trying to do something about it. So part of the mission is to advocate reading, encourage reading, period. But then relevant reading, relevant topics to things that always come up. So so advocacy of reading comprehension, so people can get used to reading. And then, as June said earlier, when you come together and read and discuss something, it just enhances the experience, because now we can actually discuss and say, well, wait a minute, I didn't look at it that way. You could read a whole page and say, wait a minute, I didn't look at it that way. And this is in grade school. We did this in grade school, K through 12, where the class will read together, where every student will take a turn to read a paragraph. The teacher would tell you, hey, read the first paragraph, and then go around the class reading paragraphs after paragraphs. And then when a paragraph starts by the indentation of the sentence. That's how So these are basic fundamentals that we learn in school. But the benefit of doing that is so that everyone can get a chance to build together, And then sometimes when you hear somebody else read something, you may get a different look on it. You may have a different understanding about something. When you read to yourself, you read a book, you read to yourself silently or whatever case is. But when you hear somebody else read or give their take on what's read, it becomes very interesting. So anyway, hopefully that answers your question. Shout out to Buxy all the way from the UK. Buxy, do y'all do anything? Like, I know we have Memorial Day, but quick question. Out there in the UK, do you all have anything equivalent to our Memorial Day? Hopefully you can answer that just out of curiosity. Philaitis, he said, I'm definitely going to join the book club. The first book on the list seems extremely important to the most recent topic circulating in the community, whether the remnants are black. Yes, indeed. Definitely jump in. Like I said, it's free. And you know how we like free. It's free. Most of the things on Saber University are free. All right. And we are coming out with a mobile app. Okay. So Saber University now, recently, for some very, very, very strange reason, I call people that do this hyperbolists, people that exaggerate, because we named the website Saber University. It was just strange that it was characterized that we think that we're Harvard or Yale. And to me, that's the most silliest thing to hear somebody say, because one, it's just a straw man. It's just exaggeration, like, and then nobody ever makes that claim. The website, the domain name is saberuniversity.com. The website is Seba University. The word Seba or Seba is an ancient Egyptian word that means instructions. There's also words related to instructions, learning, instructions, pupil or student, and teacher. All of those words are within the same semantic field of the word sabah and university. So so Saber University is simply an educational environment, minus all the noise and all the drama and all the messy stuff that you see on the YouTube streets and everywhere else. All right, this is where we take information serious, and we also have fun. And we can have fun while learning, but minus all of the immature, bad character, all that other stuff. All right, so this is a safe zone that people claim that they are about. So instead of just keep talking the talk, we're actually putting in the work to make it happen. All right, advocating reading and advocating an educational environment. Now, an educational environment doesn't, like I said, it doesn't mean that we got to be a robotic or stiff. We still have fun. Um, we still have fun, but we learn at the same time. All right, so make sure y'all join. MF Dreadson says, I meant, what's the overall objective in studying this topic? Okay. If you're talking about this particular topic, the first book, Ethnic Identities in the Land of the Pharaohs, it's really just to inform everyone who's gonna walk through it with us about what the title says, Ethnic Identities in the Land of the Pharaohs. So and then also it will it should broaden your perspective on identity in general. So I'll give you a sneak. I'll give you a what do you call it? I'll give you a couple of breadcrumbs. Um, Race, for example, race, what we call race today. We all should know that it is a modern social construct. Now, people hear that. I know I've heard it a lot of times, and other people hear it here and there. A modern social construct, but a lot of people I've talked to really don't know or had time or contemplated on what is a social construct. Like, what does that mean? Like, what is a social construct? And race being one social construct or a modern one, what's that? What is it? What is it really? And so what this book helps to do is to kind of shed light on the difference between race and ethnicity. You have race, and these are different levels of identity: race, ethnicity, nationality, so on and so forth. And so people that are having these arguments that, over the past few months, they're arguing the race of the ancient Egyptians, whether they're black, whether they're white, or whether they're something other than those two. And so we have to understand that our modern notion of race was born during slavery. So let me tell you all, or let me inform you all of this. There were no white people on planet Earth prior to 1681. Now, when I say that, now I've said this before, and I get the inboxes and everything. But when I say that, when you hear me say that, there were no white people before 1681 A.D. or CE. That sounds strange, right? You're like, wait a minute. What do you mean that there was no white people before 1681? 1681, there were white people in Europe before 1681. There's white people on the planet before 1681. So, when people, have that kind of response, right there is the beginning of the need to unravel what is race. And so 1681 is the birth of white people, because white is one of the hierarchical classifications, social classifications of human groupings that began in 1681, where it became an actual class of people. And when that was classed, so was black. And then there was others. All right. So anyway, the book is going to immediately stop people from committing anachronisms, where we're projecting our modern social constructs backwards in antiquity and applying them where they don't belong. That's called anachronism. All right. And so we want to avoid that. And so what this book will do, it will help inform you of, many things so that we won't do that. And then we'll see how crazy the whole conversation has been, whether the Egyptians are black or not. Like, what do you mean? The modern social construct of this racial groupings that we have today didn't even exist. And then it causes you to really think and dig down deep. Like, wait a minute now, because it's gonna shift things for you in your mind. Just like when I said there were no white people prior to 1681. Your first thought is that, wait a minute, Wujao, you're wrong. There were white people on the planet Earth before 1681. And so that opens the door to have a better understanding of the racial classifications. All right, these are social classes. They just use color terms, and then we identify with these color terms. Color terminology: WHITE, white; BLACK, black. These are two color terms, but they're simply labels for a classification. And that classification did not exist prior to 1681. All right. So anyway, that's that topic. But it's a whole lot more. All right, real quick, let's just see. So, okay, so Buxy answered me. He said, in the UK, we have Remembrance Day. This happens annually on, November 11th. Okay. All right. Indigenous Black Man Peace. What else we got here? Buxy says, my friend asks, why is it, do you think Black American and Caribbean people looking for our history often want to align ourselves with Kemet? Personally, I think we are more than likely West African people. Yeah, I get that. I see that, and I get that question a lot as well. Why Kemet, basically, or why do people seem to gravitate towards Kemet a lot? Well, the answer is a lot of the answer is kind of obvious, because Kemet stands out as one of the epitomes of culture and civilization on the continent of Africa. And so and it's the way Kemet and its people ran the country and what they created, it lasts in a ruined form. It's in ruins now, but it has stood the test of time, where, excavations, archaeologists, and what have you have collected and rediscovered and uncovered many things that have still been preserved so that we can bear witness to them today. And so ancient Egypt, or Kemet, it sticks out, it stands out. It's one of the shining lights of the ancient world, one of the biggest. And so it's an African culture, an African civilization built by African people on the continent of Africa. And so Caribbeans and African Americans, we have to understand that we are Americans or African Americans, and we are Caribbeans because of the transatlantic slave Holocaust, slavery, you know. And so during that entire institution and all of its, you know, all of its other aspects, it severed our identity. We lost our identity. You know, we were, you know, our recent ancestors were you know, worked on. You know, it was a concentrated effort to remove our identity, to remove our connection with where we were from and everything. And it was a systematic process. And so, in our desire to reach back to execute Sankofa, to reach back and fetch our identity, to hook back up, to relink back with some sense of cultural anchor and everything like that, we have a lot of gaps, a lot of voids. And so one of the easier things to do is to pick a glorious civilization on the continent. First of all, what we do is we treat the continent like it's a country. So instead of recognizing individual ethnic groups on the continent, we tend to, and by we I mean African Americans and Caribbeans, for the most part, we just lump everything together on the continent. So we have this perception of Africa as a homogeneous entity of people. We just say Africans and we say Africa. And how you know that is how we talk about it. If you pay attention to how people talk about Africa, you'll see very quickly that we talk about Africa as if it's a country and not a continent with many countries. And then and then people will argue, well, prior to the Berlin Conference and all of that stuff and colonialism, the countries we know today, the 54 countries we have today, they didn't exist. And my response to that would be like, yes, you're right, but it doesn't negate the fact that although those countries and its territorial borders didn't exist, but the people on the continent prior to the Berlin Conference and prior to colonialism and everything like that, they still had their distinct nations. They still had distinct nations and distinct territories. It was most likely it wasn't like the carved out nations and their territories that we see now and countries. So it was always there. But so anyway, my point is that we lump all that stuff together. And so we latch on to Egypt because Egypt is part of Africa. Egypt is on the continent of Africa, and we see Africa as this big one entity, one thing. African. I'm African. We name a continent. We don't even name an ethnic group. We don't say that I'm Kikuyu, or I'm Luo, or I'm Maasai, and those are on the east, or I'm Yoruba, or I'm Igbo, or I'm what have you on the west, or I'm Kikongo, or Bakongo, part of the, whatever the case is, because we don't know. And then now with the advent of DNA testing companies and things like that, people have been scrambling to get their genome sequenced and find out, or at least fill in some gaps to get some estimates from where your ancestry may have once lived and things like that. So that's where that comes into play. But anyway, so hopefully that kind of answers your question. Kemet is the light of the ancient world, and when you're in darkness, you're gonna walk towards the light. And so Egypt sticks out. All right, ancient Egypt sticks out. What else? And we coming up to 2:00 now. Salute, champ. Peace. I am trying to look like you all are having a conversation in the chat among yourself. All right, so Firelight says different groups of people from ancient Egypt moved to different areas of the continent when invasion started. So why is it that a group couldn't have gone west or south or east? Um, yeah, I mean, people make it seem like um, if you were in ancient Egypt, you were like locked in a jail, a cage where you couldn't leave the borders of Egypt and things like that. People do speak about it as if that's what they're implying. But you're right. I mean, people left um, Egypt, came and left. Egypt, and that's the thing. See, we talk about Egypt, um, and we tend to romanticize and commercialize and glorify it. But in all that people do to Egypt, I think that Egypt is is not given its real props. Its real props because we don't see it realistically. I don't think we do because Egypt lasted over 3,000 years. That alone should cause people to pause for a minute. Like 3,000, over 3,000 years. Of course, they had their destabilization periods and stuff like that, called the intermediate periods and whatnot. But in general, the ancient Egypt lasted for 3,000 plus years, and has done some tremendous things and accomplishments. You know, um, but I don't think people look at things realistically. We kind of romanticize Egypt. We just talk about the pyramids, three great pyramids, or the Great Pyramid, three pyramids of Giza, the Sphinx. We'll talk about a temple or two. We'll talk about a couple of the kings. We'll throw in a couple of women, popular women, and then we'll just get all spooky and everything, you know. And we'll definitely get the tattoos with all the symbols. We'll walk around with unks. We'll even dress up in some Egyptian attire that we think that people in Egypt wore every day, but really didn't. We'll imitate the aspective style of artwork and call it yoga and stuff. I mean, we do all of that stuff, um, but we don't like tap into the realistic, the real genius. I mean, that's just my take on it. So yeah, people can migrate in and out, and people did. They migrated in and out. They left. They came from elsewhere and whatnot. So, and it really doesn't matter. Let's see. The Great Wall of Upper Egypt prevented the movement southwest east. Right. It was a big wall. It was a big wall. The wall was like 30 feet high, and it's expanded from the Red Sea all the way uh, to the corner of Libya, and then made a right turn or a 90-degree angle and went up towards the Mediterranean. And that's why Egypt lasted so long, because they had a wall that nobody could get in or out. You know. So, anyway, if there's no more questions in the chat, like I said, I just wanted to do a quick one. Um, I'm gonna do a Kemet and Chill a open Q&A, another time. Maybe we can get into some of language elements. And we never did get a chance to do a Q&A on polysemy, homophony, and synonymy, which is of the last crash course video I did prior to the most recent one, dealing with women and the mischaracterization of what we do over here, how we run things over here. People tend to project their experiences and how they run things and what they get involved with things outside of their their circle. And so, we did a video, had to do a video to kind of straighten that out. But our last informational video was on polysemy, homophony, and synonymy. And that's very important because those three things I just named, polysemy, homophony, and synonymy, those are three types of semantic relationships. And it's those relationships that you have to be competent in order to do successful translations and to understand how translations are done. So check out that video. We did a video. It's about an hour long. And I never got a chance to do a Q&A from it. We just did the video, and we were supposed to do a separate Q&A. So I'm going to do a Kemet and Chill with a Q&A on that and whatever else that people have on their mind. All right. So, yeah. So anyway, I'm interested, for those who did join, I'm interested in a day and time. What's your suggested day and time? Because at some point with things like this, you can't please everybody, or not everyone's going to have the exact same suggestion. So hopefully we can find a sweet spot. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that sweet spot where we can meet only for an hour, and we can walk through a series of books. All right. And you don't want to miss out, because the lineup of books, we'll get some good understanding of quite a few things. All right. We're going to start with this one, though. All right. Falai just said, "What's the Great Wall of Upper Egypt?" No, we were just playing. So let me say that right now, so nobody will think that I was serious. There is no Great Wall of Upper Egypt. Nothing. No such thing existed. No such thing existed. There was no wall of Upper Egypt. The natural border of Egypt were the cataracts, or waterfalls, the obstruction of the Nile River, the Happy Itaru. All right, so now Egypt's southern border, it expanded and contracted throughout Egypt's existence. Okay, it wasn't fixed. At one point, it was at Abu or Elephantine or Aswan that we know today, or the first cataract, and then at certain times it expanded further down to the second cataract, et cetera, et cetera. You see the temple of Abu Simbel or Abu Simbel there, and some other places. All right. So hopefully that's understood. So again, there's no Great Wall of Upper Egypt. Y'all don't listen to Sadiq. Let's see. Okay, so Sadiq is saying, he's giving times. All right. Anything else? Last. Anybody on chat? Judy, June, Emiket.
Hotep. Yeah, I would just like to say that make sure that you join also Saber University, especially the Facebook page. I put all the links for all the socials for Seba University on a chat. So just scroll back up and you'll find them. Facebook is definitely a must, and Twitter is definitely a must. So they are there because we'll make any kind of announcements that sometimes you don't want to miss. So that's a good place to start. Just wanted to add that in there.
All right. June, Judy.
No, I'm good. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. Hotel.
All right. The chat. What you got? Any last things from the chat? And again, shout out to the chat. I know it's Memorial Day weekend. Y'all probably firing up the grill. Make sure y'all be safe out there. If y'all been watching the news, you have these school shootings. You still have the Ukraine, Russia conflict. You have the school shootings. You have monkeypox. It's on the rise. You still have COVID cases and things. People are getting their third infections and things. I know quite a few people who have been vaccinated. Well, this is their second time having COVID. This is their second round. But due to them being vaccinated and whatnot, it's not as severe. Or, people that I know that have been infected again, every one of them has said that it's not the same as when they were affected initially. So that's good. But still, be careful out there. Be mindful, be careful, and all that good stuff. So I guess there's nothing else to say. All right. So in summary, make sure you all sign up. Remove this out the way. Sign up on saberuniversity.com. On the homepage, just scroll down and you will see Saber University Book Club. Enroll. It's free. All you need is your name and your email, and you enroll. And the book that we're going over first is the book that you see on the screen, Ethnic Identities in the Land of the Pharaohs by Yerosh Matic. That book is available on Amazon. All right. If you are still unable to get the book for whatever reason, we still have you covered. All right, because we're gonna go to, we have that discussion. All right, so make sure you sign up. And with that, I'm gonna say, enjoy yourself, enjoy the weather wherever you are, enjoy your family time, eat good, don't eat too much, and everything like that. And I will see you all in our next live. So we're gonna do a Kemet and Chill Q&A. So make sure y'all have some questions and things like that, because I like the interaction with the chat and the panel. We post the panel link. You can hop on the panel. We can have a discussion. All right. So I am going to give you all farewell. So Shemem Hotep, and see y'all later.